Some more Kusarigama target practice. I'm trying something new, kind of let the ice melt just enough that it slides out of the cup, so now I have just ice to strike. Still in the 90s here in Texas, late September, so you can see how quickly it's starting to shed some of its mass, but it held up for quite a few strikes, as you'll see. It looks bigger than it is. The block of ice is only the size of a small Starbucks cup. I know they don't call it small, don't care. And I'm really fanatical on honing accuracy with the Kusarigama because I think hitting is superior to entangling with it. But of course, you want to be able to do both. And check out the spinning shadow of the chain in slow motion. I think that's pretty cool. You can see it even wrap all the way behind me. And one good thing about this weapon is it does give you margin for error, like the error I'm about to make, because I miss with the weight, but I still do hit the target. And I basically took a divot out of the grass right behind the ice. Okay, still usable, so let's give it a shot and see if I can do better. That's what I wanted. And a little surprise when I recovered the target, a perfectly clean break. I'll ditch that portion, and now I have a smaller target to aim for. I'm going to try hitting it with an overhead swing in just a minute. First, I just want to mention, I think I finally understand why it's so difficult to be as accurate as you want to be with this thing, and why it's dangerous or misleading to do what it seems like a lot of people do, and that's only train with a rope version. The thing is, that long chain, chain has more weight than rope, obviously, and when it's like 8 feet long or longer, when fully extended and getting swung, it has a sag effect, right? Gravity is pulling down on that length of the chain, and there's a lot of it. So when you use a weight at the end of a long or skinny rope, almost all of the weight is at the end of your swing. And what I've realized from all this practice I've done, been showing you some snippets of videos from that, is that it's kind of the opposite with the chain. And the chain, theoretically, according to the classical teachings, needs to be stout enough to block a sword strike. And think about it, that's, a strike from a two-handed sword, a powerful cut. Well, do you want to do that with just a thin rope in your hand? Probably not. Do you want to try that with a very thin micro chain? No, I wouldn't want to do that either. So for an actual fighting version, you need to have a reasonably stout chain, and then think about that chain. If you pull it all together, that's way more metal than the weight at the very end. And that's why this is not like swinging a meteor hammer or a rope dart or anything like that. And that's why it's easier to miss like that. Even on these downward swings where I'm using gravity, right, horizontal swings, it's really fighting against me to a certain extent. And it still has that slightly unwieldy aspect. Hey, my best one so far. Now, obviously, I'm aiming at something, half a cup in size. And so overall, big picture, you can be accurate with this thing, don't get me wrong. But I am curious. I think I'm probably the only one to ever try this. I want to find out, what is it going to take to get to where I just have absolute pinpoint accuracy? Want to see me hurt myself? Watch this. Hit me right on the first two knuckles, so good thing I'm a karate guy, because I've been toughening those up for years. Yeah, it still hurts. But bounce back against a giant concrete slab is much more severe than against an opponent or the ground. Here we go. Finally. And you can see there how I've accounted for the bounce back. I was ready for it. Like, it's going to swing by me. I mean, that's something I realized in one of my earliest videos. I talked about the danger of the north-south swing. But as when I smacked my hand there, you can see how easy it is to still make that mistake. And close-up slow-mo of the actual break. Going back to how I hurt myself, that's the benefit of actually training with the real deal, too. If I just smacked myself on the knuckles with a soft, rubber ball, something like that, I really wouldn't have thought twice about it. But the fact that it hurt acutely and does for a few days, you're gonna remember that. But of course I do that too. My partner and I have a safe version. And I guess that's the point of the video. 1, it can lull you into a false sense of security regarding your accuracy, and 2, a false sense of security about your own safety.